今日嘅壓軸演講嘉賓，我哋有請美安集團創辦管理層之一 Kevin Buckman 為大家回顧美安集團23年嘅輝煌里程。Ladies and gentlemen, please put our hands together again for Mr. Kevin Buckman.
Okay, we are coming in for a landing. Okay, I'm not messing. It won't be 6 hours from now either. I promise. Oh my. Well, first of all, this is the last presentation for the day, at least for me. I just want to let everybody know how much I appreciate you inviting me here for Hong Kong's convention. I love Hong Kong. Hopefully, I will be back again. But this is, you know, I started with the end at the beginning of the day, because in the end we really only do three things: we sell the product, we sell the business, and we sell education. Right? In the end, that's all we do. I don't care what happens. All the different tools we get, all the different programs we get. In the end, it all culminates by selling products, selling the business, and selling education. So what I want to do is I want to end the day with the beginning. And I do this with all of my business partners, new and current. And I'll even do a coring on this, okay? Because I think for new people, they need to realize and understand what they have in their hands. Okay? They don't have an appreciation from where we started. And for the old people, I like to talk to them about this as well, so they have a little more gratitude and appreciation from where they started. Because I think after a while, sometimes we get a little jaded, we get a little crotchety, you know, we make things bigger than they really are. And I think it's a good thing to reflect on where we came from. And I do this with myself as well, just to put things in proper perspective. And so what I want to do is I want to share with you the making of Market America, the big picture. You know, I liken the making of Market America to a jigsaw puzzle, okay? Okay, in a jigsaw puzzle, for those of you that have put one together, and for those of you who haven't put one together, I'm going to explain how it works. You start off by picking out a picture that beautiful picture, a picture you want to put together, and you buy based on it's normally on the cover of the box, and you buy the box, whether it's 500 pieces, 1,000 pieces, 2,500, whatever it may be, but you have an idea, it's a picture. And then you empty all the pieces on the table and you set the box there so you can look at the picture, because you need the picture to basically start a system to make this come together quickly. The making of Market America was like that as well. JR had a vision. He had a picture. He had a picture in his mind, a vision in his mind of what he wanted the company to be. Okay? He had past experiences with other direct sales companies. He learned a lot of things that we needed to do, and he learned a lot of things that we needed to stay away from. But in his mind, he had this picture. His vision was he wanted a business model that was based on what the average person could actually and realistically do. Why? Why did the business have to be based on what the average person could actually and realistically do? Because he knew it was going to take lots of people to make this happen. And the thing is you don't go through a whole lot of training programs, not really. Okay, it had to be based on what the average person could actually realistically do with the tools that they had at hand. And the tools that they had at hand was this. He knew that if he came up with products that did what they say they did, and those people used those products, they could tell other people about the products, and those products, they could sell those products and make a retail profit. He also defined the average individual as somebody that had 8 to 15 hours a week. 8 to 15 hours a week to invest in their business, invest in improving their financial future. Okay? That's how he defined the average individual. And every one of you in here has 8 to 15 hours of discretionary time that you can invest in your business. And when I say discretionary, I mean you have the ability to choose how you want to spend at least 8 to 15 hours a week. Now, for me, I was working a lot, as many of you are working a lot of hours during the week. But there were things that I was doing in the other hours that I probably shouldn't be doing, okay? Like hanging out at the bar with my buddies after work, okay? There wasn't doing anything to improve my financial situation. Or playing fast-pitch softball on a team on weekends that we travel from town to town and play in tournaments. Wasn't doing anything to improve my financial situation. So things like that I had to take inventory of and decide, hey, I needed to let them go and I needed to focus on devoting or investing this time, taking that time, investing it in myself and my family. I mean, bottom line, that's what it had to do. And we're going to have to make decisions like that. And my business partners, new business partners I come in with, or people I work with, I make them decide. They've got to decide, do you want it or not? You may have to do other things with your time than you're currently doing because they're not getting you any closer to your picture. These are things you have to do. He wanted a selling system rather than a buying system. He wanted to be product driven, so it took less people to move more product, more volume, and create more income quickly. Okay? He wanted an organizational structure that was created a vested economic interest in the success of everyone. In other words, he wanted to build deep and not wide. He didn't want his people to be in competition with one another. That's why we build vertically, we build deep, and we don't build wide. Okay? He wanted everybody to have a vested economic interest in the success of their team. He wanted a compensation plan that minimized the eliminated that competition, as I just said. He wanted a business that was not only profitable but stable. There's lots of businesses out there and things you can do to make a lot more money fast, but it won't last. It won't last. I've been doing this for 23 years. I can't even tell you how many businesses that have come through in 23 years. You can make more money, faster money, make more money. And a lot of people went and did those things, but guess what? They didn't last. They didn't last. They did not last. It's because they're not built. They weren't built for stability. They were built to get 3 years of big money, and then the people that started move on, and they started something else. And the rest of them were hanging. And I've seen it happen over and over and over. Okay? He wanted a business that was dynamic, not static. What do I mean by dynamic? He wanted one that was able to change, add on things. Okay? For example, the internet. The internet was a huge thing that came in. You got to understand, I was doing this business for maybe 5, 6, 7 years before we even had the internet. The internet wasn't even on the radar. But when the internet came, you can see now everybody uses it. But the thing is we used and we adapted Market America to use the internet and make it so it was a very powerful tool for each and every one of you. It made you current. It made you relevant. It made your business current and relevant. Every single one of you have internet presence. Every one of you have e-commerce capability. You don't have to buy a credit card machine. You don't have to lease a Zon machine. You don't have to enroll in a merchant account. Back then, when I took credit cards, it was $42 a month just to have be able to have the service. I had to lease the machine for $1,200 a year. Okay, taking credit card was astronomical for somebody like me and not a big business because they didn't look at it like that. It was like 3.75% with a Visa. But now, guess what? You can take Visa, MasterCard, credit card. It doesn't cost you anything. You've got them. Every single one of you have a merchant account. In the old days, there was just a few of us, and we paid through the nose to have it. But he wanted it dynamic so that we could always be current and relevant within the business community. Because he treated and had a vision of every single one of us, our businesses, being just as big as anybody else's. He wanted to make sure that we always had a level playing field. Okay? He wanted the business that could be willed, passed on, just like any other traditional business. Family member builds a big business, they can pass it on to their kids. He wanted the same thing. And that's where the stability comes in. He wants it stable so that it could be willed generation after generation and generation. A lot of people, I've heard some stuff floating around where it says it can only be willed 3 generations. Stop it. Well, I don't know where these people come up with this stuff. It can go on and on and on and on and on. Okay? Now, first thing you do is this. When you put a jigsaw puzzle together, you got to do what? You got to identify the pieces. What are the pieces necessary to put that picture together? So you dump them out all on the table. And for those of you who've never put a jigsaw puzzle together, I'm going to give you a little system. I'm big on systems, okay? Because I'm not smart. I'm really not very smart. So I always create a system for everything to make things happen correctly. First thing you do is you go through all the things. You turn them all over so the colors are facing up. Next thing you do is you find all the straight pieces. Okay? You find all the straight pieces and you put them in a pile. Then you look at the picture and you take all the colors that look like they belong in this section of the puzzle, this section of the puzzle, this, and you get them all colored in there. Then you go back and you put all the straight pieces together to create the frame, if you will. And then you take a look at the box and then you start to piece the colors together where they belong. And it's a very quick way to put this thing together. Is everybody with me? We did the same thing with Market America. We put all the pieces on. We identified what needed to be put in place to make the vision come together. Now, first thing you got to do is if we're going to be a what? Selling system versus a buying system, you got to have a warehouse. Got to have a place to put product. Right? You got to have an office. Because it got to be the warehouse, the shipping, receiving, everything. This was our warehouse, this was our office, this was everything. This was a garage of a model home that the real estate people used to use as an office to sell into the development. Okay, they bought that house because of the garage. Okay, and that became our office. That's the first Market America office right there. 2-car garage. Serious. I took that picture to make this point. Okay, that's 2-car garage. Okay, that was our office. That's where we started. We had products. You couldn't give these products away. Couldn't give them away. You couldn't even take them to the homeless shelter and give them away. They wouldn't take them. This was La Creme Light. And by the way, that is our sales brochure. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay? La Creme Light. You put it on your finger, and then you rubbed it into your wrist. You know where all the blood vessels are? And supposedly, that cream was supposed to be absorbed into your blood system, and it would curb your appetite, and you would lose weight. Light, La Creme Light. But you needed product to qualify your center. What can I say? You had to do something to be legal back then. Okay? Trim Drops, another great product we had. Trim Drops. We had a bottle. Trim Drops it was a lime green label. And there was a bottle about this, and it has a little, like a nose dropper type thing where you squeeze the little rubber thing like that, and you pull up, and you drop three drops under your tongue. And it was supposed to make you curb your appetite and you'd lose weight. The reason I had to look at that, I wanted to make sure what product I was talking about, because we also had a bottle that looked exactly the same, only had a bright orange label, and it was called Quitter's Friend. And you did the same thing. 3 drops would make you quit smoking. I mean, you talk about snake oil. Extend Car Care Products by Tough Coat. Horrible, horrible, horrible product. I wouldn't let my car 3 feet near that product. Okay? The products and services were very limited. We also had another thing, I can't remember what it was called, but you put it in your refrigerator and ate up the odor. I don't know. And we had some jewelry that if you put it on, if you left it on very long, like 6 hours, it would turn your skin green. Truly, that was it. That was it. And where did these products come from? No, we didn't. We weren't identifying trend product. In reality, I think we were just buying up product. I'm pretty sure I'm right. They were buying up product that was just available in some warehouse that somebody needed to get rid of, and then we got it for a penny or something okay. But the thing is we had product. But in reality, the design was always to have a mall without walls. You can see right now, car care, weight loss, health and nutrition. You with me? We weren't getting there. We weren't even close, but at least you can see the train of thought. With me? Mall without walls, 360 shopping experience. Now, we had two degrees of shopping experience, but I mean, it was there. We always intended that. Then all of a sudden, momentum started building. Thank heaven. Thank heaven. If it wasn't for this product right here, Thermochrome 5000, none of you would be here today. I wouldn't be here today. Nobody would be here today. The company wouldn't be here today. We owe everything. We ought to build a golden altar to this product. Okay, if it wasn't for this product, we would not be here. And I don't think anybody in Mark America will ever argue that. Okay, but it was a weight loss product that you talk about, it worked. Man, did it work. It was great. It was unbelievable. Okay, and we got this product. And at the same time, we found another warehouse full of product. It was called Isotonix. It was made by this company, and they tried for 6 years to move it and sell it and everything. They just couldn't get it done. They couldn't get it done. We got these products, okay? We got, what did we get? We got multivitamin, vitamin C, vitamins B12, and I don't know, maybe one other product. But anyway, we got 4, and they were just in the 30-day supplies. There was no big, the big 90-day stuff. It was just little stuff because we bought what they had. That was it. But the thing is we moved in 6 months more in 6 months than they moved in 6 years. We sold it out. Man, the product was just going. And I'll tell you right now, the product, why? Because it had a great story. The whole delivery system, everything like that. I don't know why they didn't, but they just couldn't get it out there. Our people were so hungry. You got to remember, we were selling the creme light. We got a product like this and a product like Thermochrome. Man, we went in and talked to anybody and everybody that came within reach. You could grab them. Hey, come here. You got to look at this. I mean, we were hungry. Okay, we had been like in a desert with nothing to drink for 50 years. That's how bad it was. And when these products came, we were so grateful, so thankful. It was unbelievable. And that Thermochrome worked, and these products worked. Okay, and they saved the day. Okay, we were so poor, we had to use family members to take the pictures. That's Dennis's father-in-law and his daughter, youngest daughter. Okay, and he took the picture. And he made the brochures. I think we made them down at the Kinko's or something. Okay, it was horrible. It was unbelievable. There's his other daughter, Lauren. And the teen motives. I mean, so the thing is everybody did everything. I remember my kids, they used to staple Thermochrome trial packs where they put 12 pills, a 3-day trial. Okay? And they came in a little plastic thing. Everybody shoved counted out 12, put them in the pack, took a cardboard thing and clipped them and stapled them. We used to have our kids in there stapling. I mean, labor law, I thought we were going to get in trouble. But we had them working there morning and noon and night, continuing to just put and staple them together. It was all a big family type thing. Back then, the only way to show the plan is you had to draw it out. You had to draw it out. The only way you could show the business to somebody is you had to be able to draw it out. You had to be able to go through everything you now see in PowerPoint, everything you see in the flip chart, everything. There was no flip chart. There was nothing. You had to be able to draw it out on a piece of paper or a couple pieces of paper. That's the only way you could expose the business to somebody. We had no flip chart. There was no such thing as an NMTSS. Nothing. I hear people say, oh, I'd probably be successful in this business if I lived in an area where they had a national meeting training seminar system, if we had UBPs and we had basic fives that I could put my people into, or we had locals. Get out of here. Stop it. Let me tell you what, is the NMTSS important? Absolutely. But don't give me this stuff. You can't build the business unless you have the NMTSS. Be the NMTSS. Be the trainer. That's what we did. That's what we did. Well, what do I train? We give you the PowerPoint presentations. I gave you everything like that. You go get people to train first. Our biggest problem is we get 2 people and we train the living daylights out of them. And we never move on and grow. We just sit there and train them, and core them, and send them to a meeting, send them to a training, and we don't train them really. We don't build the business with them. That's where the real learning comes in. Paper forms by mail only. You had to fill out every paper form. Application, initial order, transfer buying, Form 1000, annual renewal. I can just go on and on. Everything by paper, and everything had to be mailed. And I'm telling you, you better do it in blue ink or red ink so that they didn't think it was a copy. Paper receipts. Paper receipts. Had to write out the receipts, staple them. You had to keep them. It was so much paperwork, so much administration. Startup sales aids. We had none. No internet. No UFMS back office. This is how we place people. This is how we keep track of people. Everybody in their business or office, or wherever they did their business. Mine was the basement. My wife pushed me to the basement. Okay? And on my basement wall, I had wallpapered it with blank, you know the kind of paper you have on an easel in kindergarten or whatever like that. I wallpapered my wall, and up the top was me. And then on pencil, I had every single business development center and social security number, because we didn't have Market America ID numbers. We had their actual social security number. That's what we used. And everything all over the wall. And that's how I keep. And it was like call central. I got somebody to place. Okay, where are you going? Boom, boom. Because I kept track of all the numbers, where they went. There was no internet. There was no back office. There was no graphic genealogy. The graphic genealogy was kept on the wall in my basement. And all the other pioneers in the beginning of the business, that's where they kept theirs. Same thing. We all operated the same way. They all had to come for organizational placement. That was the central. You didn't call the company and ask them. You had to keep track of it. We had no transfer buying. We had no monthly auto ship. Do you know what that's like? Let me ask you a question. How many people do you think would flush? In other words, not meet their minimum monthly activity to execute the month-to-month accrual option, that 50, 100, 150 I talk about. How many people do you think would flush if there was no auto ship, no transfer buying? How many people you think would in your organization would remember to get their order in correctly before that date? 50%? 30%? They wouldn't make it important until actually they after flush, and then they'd call you and hold you in contempt, okay? that's why I always say, when I hear people say, oh, I missed a check or I got a check voided or something like that, the company wants to keep my money. They just wanted to beat me out. And they probably do that. And the reason we have people flush is for the company to keep money or make money. I want to punch somebody right in the head when I hear that, because it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Think about it. If the company really wanted to reduce the amount of money they pay out, all they'd have to do is say, we're going to let everybody submit their order monthly on their own. We institute, but that's not the case. We started transfer buy, we started the monthly auto ship so people wouldn't flush, because we know people forget, or people are new and they don't remember, or they don't understand it's important. We want to keep them accruing volume month to month because we want them to get paid. We want them to get paid. If you didn't want somebody to get paid, get rid of transfer buying. Trust me. There'd be 70% of everybody in the field, they'd be flushing. Because they don't pay attention. They don't pay attention. I flushed. We didn't have transfer buying. I flushed. And I remember at the time I flushed, we started transfer buying. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't need transfer buying. I'm an executive. I'm organized. I got more degrees than a thermometer. I don't need that stuff. That's for weaklings. Let me tell you what. I sent my order in on Monday, expected to be there by Friday from New Jersey. It's just New Jersey to North Carolina. Give me a break. It's not like it's on the back of a turtle. Guess what? It got there the following Monday. I flushed. 0. 7,628 BV on the left organization, 4,738 BV on the right. Oh, and by the way, back then, you got a $300 check for getting to 12 and 12. You didn't get nothing again until you got to 5 and 5. There was no payout at 2,400, 2,400, 3,600, and 3,600. That was a $1,200 hit. I was on transfer buying the next week. And every single one of my people that were in my organization, you get on transfer buying or you're out. Why? Because I don't want to listen to it. Okay? Now, I could have quit. You understand? That was my first time getting ready to go through the entire cycle. And was I mad? You better believe it. Okay? But the only person I had to be mad at was me when it came down to it. When cut me a break, nothing. Nothing. But anyway, I learned a lesson. I never made that mistake again. I got on transfer buying and I made sure my people didn't make that mistake. Okay? Because they wouldn't be like me necessarily. They're not going to blame it on themselves. They're going to blame it on everybody else, including me. So guess what? You get on or get out because I don't want to hear it. Okay? But I flushed too. I flushed. Okay? It hurt. But I could have quit. Could have got mad. So mad, I was mad. But if I'd have quit, look at everything I would have missed. Heck, I would have missed you guys. You know? I'm glad I didn't. I've made a lot of money. All right. No credit card use. We couldn't use credit cards. You couldn't use credit. You had to put a manual order in, by paper, mail it, and you had to have a check or a money order. No credit cards. Didn't trust anybody. Chargeback. Transfer buying Q date. We had to teach the Q date by month, the Q date month. We had the Q date quarter. Q date month for month-to-month accrual option, the Q date quarter for turning in your quarterly sales report so you didn't purge. Okay? Minimum order Q date quarter. I mean, 150 BV minimum be considered an active distributor with respect to the law. Okay? Annual renewal by paper. By paper. And it was either 6 months or 18 months. Well, that's not an annual renewal. That's a half a year and a year and a half renewal. Back then, if you came in between January 1st and And July 31st, you had to renew January 1st of the coming year, 6 months later. Is everybody with me? Full renewal. But if you came in on August 1st, you didn't have to renew until the following year, 18 months later. Now, people will say, what? Can you imagine bringing people into business and explain to them the annual renewal and how that worked? People are like, what's the matter with you? So who's running this place? These guys it doesn't make any sense. Well, we would just try to get through it, but I'll share with you why. The reason everybody that came in the first 6 months, which we only started in May and June and July, so basically it was 3 months. The reason it was set up that way, because everybody that was in, like Elizabeth and me and all they needed the money. They were running out of money. That's the only reason they did it. And if they tell you different, no, that's the truth. They were running out of money. So they hit us up for the money. I know. No stair step. I already talked. No 2,400, 3,600 payout. You got 300 at the 12, and you didn't get the rest until you got to 5 and 5. That was a long trip when you think about all that La Creme Light, Quitter's Friend, trim drops. A lot of junk. Then all of a sudden, we got thermochrome. Remember the thermochrome? The top executives, they're not here anymore, but two of the vice presidents at the time, they bolted and they stole the ingredient deck of the thermochrome to start a new company. And then they tried to get a lot of us to go with them. So they're constantly badgering us. Oh, it'll never work without us. The bad mouthing JR, bad mouthing, the whole bit, And trust me, we were vulnerable. I mean, let's be honest with you. Tough coat, extend by tough coat. Trim drops, Quitter's Friend. We didn't know yet, okay? And because nobody was really killing it. I remember when Elizabeth became a master coordinator. Master coordinator means she got a bonus. She became the first master coordinator. They gave her a trophy bigger than her to hit master coordinator. You don't even get invited up on stage nowadays as a master coordinator. They gave her an Oscar bigger than taller than her. We used to get called up on stage if we came in and qualified all 3 business centers at once when we first started. In other words, if we qualified the centers with 600 BV, we got to come up on stage and they gave us a certificate. That was big back then. It was about belief, trying to get people to believe. This is a management team. After the shakeout of those 2 guys, this ended up being the management team. There's the board of directors. I'm pretty proud of this. This is 1995, 6, I don't know, something like that. But this team has been together for 23 years. Microsoft can't say that. Google can't say that. Facebook can't say that. IBM can't say none of them can say that. I don't know if there's a company in the world can say that. The board of directors been for 23 years. And trust me, we don't love each other. You with me? I mean, that relationship has been built and honed out of blood, sweat, and tears and working for you all. Because let me tell you what, that team right there has put every unfranchised owner in Market America for 23 years above them. Jerry, this is our first convention. There's no stage. There's a podium, little backdrop. There's 43 people here. First convention, Market America annual convention, 43 people. That's everybody in this first 3 rows right here. 43. I remember sitting back in the back, watching all these people. I want a good view. And everybody I saw come, I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. I don't know about this. Okay? Jerry was talking. I mean, it was something. Okay? It was different back then. First annual convention. Look how young everybody is here. I mean, that's Dennis. I think I was on stage. I made fun of him, I think, and he was laughing because they're all laughing. Okay, and there's Anna, and who's that? That's Katie, Dennis's dad, Dennis's mom. There's Vince Papali back there in the pink shirt, and there's Nancy in the yellow. But young, everybody looks so young back then. Okay, but we've been on this road for 23 years. Business is still the same. Still the same. Click through this quick. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. I hate when they do this. Why don't they just give me the picture? All right. The thing is, it's still the same. Product brokerage, mall without walls, on franchise system, preferred customers, one-to-one marketing. That means increasing the share of product customers buy. Transparent customization. We do surveys now. We collect data. Internet marketing and support. Endless shopping experience. I mean, you can pretty much buy anything you want, when you want it, anytime you want it. All the way back to the product. It's all driven by the MPCP, right? We talked about that this morning. Remember see how it comes all back? You wouldn't sell OPC3 unless you were, if you weren't getting paid for it. You'd use it. You'd share it with people and not get paid from it. It's driven by the MPCP. But the business is still the same. It's no different. It's no different. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. That's why we started with the DNA this morning. In the end, nothing's changed in 23 years. It's all the same. We got a lot more tools. We got a lot better brochures. We got them electronic. I mean, everything is 1,000,000 times better than it ever was. And the old people need to realize that. And the young people need to realize that. Young people need to know, young people meaning new UFOs, they need to realize they're in the right place at the right time. Trust me, at the right time with the right business. Old people, you need to take a look at where we came from and realize you're in the right place at the right time because of everything that we've done and where we're at right now. I don't think there's a person that's been in the business for 15 years or longer would ever say that things aren't better now than they were when they got in the business. Am I right? Every one of us, James. Let me tell you what, 23 years for me, let me tell you, it's not even the same universe. We're not even the same galaxy compared 23 years ago. And you know what? We need to be grateful. And I have this talk off and on with my people that I'm working with. Our best product was and is belief. It's about belief. Not just belief in the company, but more so belief in you, in yourself. Do you understand what the convention's really all about? I'm going to share it with you. This is what the convention is really all about. This is what it's all about. It's about coming together, energy, excitement, enthusiasm with people all focused on a common goal and objective, number one. Number two, it's about bringing people up on stage. It's about talking, engaging with people out there in the audience and realizing they're making money. You see people that are making money, and that person out there, the reason you need to be here is because you're going to point up there and say, you know what, if that person can do it, why not me? Why not me? And that's what the convention's all about. Why not me? And my answer is, why not you? Trust me, I knew Betty Weber when she first started. I knew Juan Shi when she first started. They don't have any more, they had no more skills, maybe less skills than 90% of the people in this audience. That's the truth. And I can say that because honestly, I know they tell you the same thing. Less skills than you have. And look what they've done. Why not you? If they can do it, you can do it. You just have to decide. And that's what the convention's all about. That's why I want people to come to the convention. That's why I want them to come to World Conference. That's why I want them to go to local seminars. Because they're going to go, it's the national meeting training, it's the event, the gathering of people. Why not me? If they can do it, I can do it. It's important. It's about belief in you, not just the company. It's more about getting you to believe in you and what you're capable of, because you've been told by society, your workplace, whatever it is, I don't know what, you've been told over and over that you're not good enough. You're never going to make it. Be satisfied with where you're at. I'm telling you, don't be satisfied. Don't be satisfied. It's never too late. It's about belief. Belief that Market America, Market Hong Kong are creating an economy of the future. We've monetized what you've always done and you're always going to do. Belief that Market America, Market Hong Kong create in your own paradise. Whatever picture you want, you can create it. It's your jigsaw puzzle. It's your picture. You decide. It's a belief that you're in the right place at the right time. Belief that the Market America, Market Hong Kong are leading the parade. We're doing stuff that everybody else, in front of everybody else. Belief in residual income, the 2 to 3 year plan. It's doable. It is doable if you commit. If you commit and you don't get sidetracked and all this other, and you commit to doing those simple, basic, fundamental things and duplicate them with every new business partner that you enroll into your business endeavor, you will complete the 2 to 3 year plan and make $11,500 a week. It's lucrative business, opportunity built on profitability and stability. It's here for the long haul. It's 23 years. I've seen this business help tens of thousands of people in 23 years. Not tens of thousands of people making $11,500 a week, but I'm going to tell you right now, people making half that a month. Every month. Imagine being able to pay your car payment and your rent and never touch your 9 to 5 income at your job. Think about it. Or pay your rent, pay your car payment with your 9 to 5 job, and save and invest the Market America commissions. Business is still the same. Still 2 legs, 2 ways. This is what we used 23 years ago. Still 10 to 15 customers, 30 to 100% retail profit. Duplicate your efforts. Same thing. Nothing's changed. It's the most incredible, revolutionary program. I love it. I love it. We have a thing called Directors Night. In Miami every year. And without fail, every director's night, at least one director and above pin level comes and says, "Kevin, can I talk to you?" And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Because I know what it's all about. It's like, "Oh, Kevin, yeah." I say, "Sure, let's talk." "Oh, no, can we go off to the side over here in the bushes and talk?" I'm like, okay, all right. You know what they want to know? I don't know what the problem is. Every single thing I do, I'm doing the same thing that got me to vice president or got me to executive director. I show the plan the same. I say the same things. I do the same things, everything. When I was rising, I'm still doing it. But now I just can't. I'm not getting the results I did when I took off and everything was going. I don't know what it is. The business just isn't working like it used to. The business just, there's too many things. There's this, there's that. They're looking for all the. Bottom line is this. You know what? We got better products. We got the internet. We got shop.com. The plan is still the same. We've got IBV now. We get paid on for nothing. Come on. What are you talking about? It's just, I don't know. It's just gotten harder. Let me tell you what the answer is. See that ring on your hand? You know all those cars that you have? You know them 1, 2, 3, those 2, 3 houses that you have? Tell you what, get rid of them. Give them to me. Give them to me. Give them to me, and I'll guarantee you go out and do what you did, and I'll tell you what, things will change. You'll be able to recruit like you did, you'll sell like you did, everything about it. Why is that? Because here's the thing. When you didn't have anything, You said all those things. You did all those things. But you didn't do it with the same heart. You didn't do it with the same passion. When you talked to those people, it was about you and me. It was about us. You want something, I want something. Together we're going to work and we're both going to get what we want. That's how you did it. It wasn't what you said, it's how you say it. You got to let people know that you care, that you want them to be successful. You knew the only way to your success back then was for them to be successful. Now you got yours. You just go through the motions. You're still going to have those cars. You're going to still have those houses. You're going to still have those clothes. You can have all that stuff, whether they get in or not. Back then, not so. Still the same business. It's better. 100 times better. 100 times better. Company strong, 700 employees worldwide, quality assurance, internet computerized marketing, continue to expand domestic and internationally. In 1994, if somebody told me, hey, you're going to be in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia, UK, I just said, you know what, you need to, whatever you're drinking, quit. It's making you loco. Truly, I would have never thought. Now, get MP4 trainings. You can download the trainings. Major event ticket purchases within the registration. You got a new simplified, unfranchised registration where people can actually fill in the information. Then you can place them later. New simple prospecting video. I'm an entrepreneur. You got product kits. Free shipping for customers. New UBP PowerPoint presentation. You finally have a flip chart. Auto annual renewal. No more chasing everybody down to get the renewal in so they didn't purge. Credit card use. Oh my God. Getting started guide. A nice new about MA document you can send to somebody that gives them a nice overview as to what it is. How it works. Unfranchised auto ship. Heck, they even auto fill it for you. New three-part UBP video, which is my favorite. Fast start programs. We went over that. 300 BV. Do you understand 300 BV? Add up the BV, how much is really in there. If you look at how much BV is really, it's only what? It's only about 209 BV. You get 91 BV for free. They just give it to you. 300 BV. Brochures. Automatic. The other day I called in. I was scared to death. I knew I didn't submit my Form 1000. Back when they just started this, I called Angela Fenwick in a panic. Something's wrong. I went to my Form 1000 to fill it in and submit it, and it said it was met. Criteria or requirement met. I'm like, can't be. I know I didn't do it. She says, sit down, relax. They just instituted, it auto submits it for you. When you get $200, it just sends it in for you. I said, really? She says, yeah. I said, man, I never thought that would ever happen. Man, I was giddy. I said, oh my God. Why? Because we want to keep people from purging. That's why they do this. New unfranchisedtraining.com, a back office, no more wallpaper. I mean, you can find out anything. It's crazy. IBV for many. I mean, I'm jealous of you guys. You guys got you got partner stores, man. They would cut off their arm in the U.S. for some of the partner stores that you have. You have the ability to generate far more and better IBV than they do in the U.S. Auto ship, again, I talked about that. Product kits, direct deposit of your commissions. Boom, you have it. They let you know on Thursday what's being deposited on Friday. We used to wait Tuesdays, Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays in the mail to get a check from the previous week. 2 weeks before that. Online vouchers. We used to get vouchers, we just throw them in the trash. Who wants to go through that mess? I mean, you had to go, you had to sign 50 pieces of document just to get $20 they owed you and apply it to a thing. They got it online now. It's a piece of cake. Okay? Form 1000 all the way to 11:59, not 2 o'clock or at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. on the West Coast. Okay? Look at this shop.com. This is an electronic catalog, for God's sakes. It's interactive. Look at this. Or this is the back office, unfranchised, ordering. Order products, order tracking, transfer buying, UFMS sign up, my list, my account. I mean, everything right there. It's beautiful. It's got anything and everything you want to know about your entire organization. NMTSS, online train. It's crazy. Everybody's going to have this. It's all going to be standardized. Remember the garage? Here's the garage now. There's the warehouse. And believe it or not, there's another 60,000 square feet behind this, ready to go. Ready to go. Remember the first convention, 43 people? This is just a piece at the convention now, 23 years later. But that was the vision. That was JR's vision. He always thought it was going to be there. Always. In his mind, that was the picture. That was the picture. It was always going to be the shopping annuity from day one. Even from Le Creme Light, Quitter's Friend, Trim Drops, Extend Auto Care, the jewelry. Shopping annuity was always part of the picture. But you got to start somewhere. Each and every one of you have got to start from the very beginning, just like everybody else. But let me tell you what the key is. The key is this. You got to have a picture. I'm going to tell you right now, when you leave here this weekend, the foremost, the biggest thing you can do for your business is make sure that you have a picture, that you have a vision, and you've identified what it is you want more than anything in the world in which your market, Hong Kong Unfranchised, can deliver if you do what you need to do. You too will realize that picture, and it's your picture. God bless you. God bless Market Hong Kong, and I hope to see you soon again. Take care.
Live your life, live your life. Let that love inside.
多謝晒 Kevin Buckman， 俾多啲掌聲我哋嘅管理層 Kevin 好唔好啊？23年不懈嘅努力維係我哋嘅超連鎖系統，用我哋嘅説話講，佢真係一位好有 heart 嘅管理層。好，咁我哋嚟到今日咧，我哋今日嘅會議嘅尾聲咧，兩個簡單嘅信息俾大家。第一，明天我哋10點鐘一開始嘅時候會係一個大抽獎，我哋會送出咩禮物呢？大家睇下熒光幕上面啊，我哋會送出今次美安年會新推出嘅全新產品菠蘿酵素，同埋 DNA 系列嘅俾小朋友食嘅 OPC 糖，大家食過未啊？我想問。咦，有啲食過，有啲未食過，唔緊要。聽日早啲嚟到，我哋抽獎啊！另外，我哋仲會有美國嘅8月嘅國際年會嘅門票啦，同埋喺10月嘅新加坡區域大會嘅門票嘅。大家記得明天9點半之前嚟到登記嘅話呢，就可以攞到呢個抽獎券㗎啦。OK。第二個信息就係我哋今日嘅售票處今日仍然係開放緊嘅，大家把握時間，快啲去到售票處買我哋嚟緊幾個嘅會議嘅門票。明天見。